been shooting from a cannon. Mid-flight here to recite, I ain't landing. Handles like a vandal at night, you can't grab it. Fire underneath my hood is outstanding. Blast through a wall of bricks like Superman did. Ain't nothing holding me back but me standing. So I'ma take off right now.
Well, the humidity still a factor on this fall afternoon, but no rain in the forecast. That's the good news as you look inside Everbank Stadium here in Jacksonville. It's the first weekend of autumn, and the NFL is in full swing as off we go on EA Sports. And a nice return sets him up pretty good. At the 30-yard line. So 1st and 10 now from the 30.
Look, hey, Lion.
Lawrence going to put it up right away. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete. Hey, look at this defense for the Vikings. And they've played well against the pass, currently ranked 7th in the NFL.
And I'm struggling a little bit trying to really categorize this crew. They're top 10 in the league against the pass, but the bottom half of the league in sacking the quarterback. That doesn't make sense. Imagine if this group ever put pressure on the QB, it'd easily move into the top 5.
And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. A 14-yard first down pickup for the Jaguars.
Well, there's plenty of real estate for him to maneuver on that run, and let's face it, it shouldn't be a surprise. He's one of the better backs in the league. Had to come into this game with the idea, slow him down, otherwise it's going to be a long afternoon.
Running game working. They'll stick with it on first down. And a solid run here as he'll pick his way down to the 42-yard line. A 14-yard pickup. That's 14 yards on 2 straight plays. So back-to-back big runs, picking apart this defense on the opening drive.
I thought this was a passing league. I thought this was the era we were in where the ball was always in the air, right?
They didn't get the memo.
They didn't get the memo, and I know this to be true. Offensive linemen still, to this day, they want to run the football. They want to fire out and hit people across the line of scrimmage, and they're clearing space.
And shedding through the tackle. The Jaguars are 1-1 through 2 games thus far. It's not a start that's going to set the world on fire, but they've been pretty solid nonetheless.
And the first thing that crosses my mind, it certainly beats the alternative of starting 0-2. I do think that this is a team that's going to take a little time to find its footing. Hard to navigate the always tough NFL.
Now a give, right side. Bruce. And some room to run now. And so close, he gets it to the 1. Out of bounds right there. 60 yards rushing for him as he's got the afternoon off to a great start. You were telling me this yesterday. This is exactly what they want to do on the opening drive, establish the ground game.
Yeah, remember our conversation. We were talking about what one of in the league has told me repeatedly, it's a big man's game, and it's not necessarily size. He's talking about playing some big boy football. Line up, get leverage, knock people back, and establish the run early.
Now he's able to break through 1 tackle, but it slowed him down enough that he could only manage getting back to the line of scrimmage.
As usual, the hallmark of a good run defense, linebackers making plays near the line of scrimmage. Absolutely nowhere to run there.
Another shot from the 1 on 2nd and goal.
Hey, I'm gun. 13, Lou. It's hot.
They'll try to run this one in. And he'll take this into the end zone. Touchdown, Jacksonville. A great effort there. His first touchdown of the new season.
And the Jaguars get the upper hand as they're on the board first here this afternoon.
Extra point splits the uprights, and it's now a 7-0 game. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes.
And they nearly broke that for more, but as it is, still a good return. They'll start the drive right around the 37.
Good starting field position for the Vikings as they have it 1st and 10 at their own 37. The drive starts with a run by Allen. Powers ahead at the 45. And he'll be out of bounds, but able to get it up past the 45.
Yeah, so they get that one, Charles, on the right tackle.
Yeah, oftentimes in that spot, you're trying to work against a defender, trying to set the edge in the running game, and you're trying to drive around and get your body twisted so that he can't get there. Sometimes your hands get too involved.
They're backed up here with a 1st and 20 now after the holding penalty. Here's Allen.
Now he's loose at the 40.
Sheds off the tackle.
And he's going to be out of bounds all the way down inside the 15.
A big play there for Minnesota. And even 60 yards. Terrific run from one of the fastest backs in the game today. A guy who keeps defensive coordinators up at night, no doubt.
Remember when we were meeting with the D coordinator before the game and all he talked about was run fits, making sure our guys were in the right place so there were no creases?
They missed their fits, didn't they?
Yeah, there was no fit there. The only fit was at the end when he threw his headset down after that big run.
And he'll be taken down here at about the 11. 2 yards that time. A stark contrast from the big chunk on the previous play.
Brandon, one thing about blitzes, they really confuse offensive linemen at times. And what you have to do is lock in on the guy right in front of you. If you don't, you saw the end result. Defensive tackle ended up making the play.
This is 2nd and 8. McCarthy operating from the gun.
Throwing middle, and it's complete. They'll wind up getting 7 on the play. And now 2 yards to go on 3rd down.
They'll come to the line, needing only 2 yards to gain the first here.
Now a carry for Allen. And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Minnesota. A great play there.
His 5th rushing touchdown now on the year. And the Vikings respond to that opening drive touchdown with one of their own.
Extra point right down the middle. And we are tied at 7. Each team's had it. Each team has scored. 7-7 here as the kick's away. Oh, a dangerous return man showing it here. And he goes out of bounds just shy of the 40, right around the 39. So solid starting field position. The Jacksonville offense set to begin their next drive. And that last drive, it was all about the ground game, ground and pound.
And I don't care how we're playing the game these days, offensive linemen still want to fire out and smack the guy opposite them and move the football on the ground. They feel better about that. That's what they want to do. That's how they want to play, and that's how they got it done.
Yeah, they got it for a touchdown last drive. Let's see what happens here.
Lawrence. That one out wide and intercepted. Brandon Jones picking it off. And the Vikings are going to have it here just past the 25.
Unfortunately for him, if last week was any indication, we knew a pick was coming at some point. Last week it was interception after interception, and here we go again.
We actually quit counting last week at a certain point because I thought I was going to run out of fingers, all right, because I'm not all that skilled as a mathematician. But you're right. It felt like...
And that's caught inside the 35. And they finally do get him, but not before he reaches the 27. A big play there for Minnesota. 46 yards. So in Jacksonville territory now. Here's a 1st and 10 at the 27.
Now McCarthy. Complete to Addison on the out route.
And he'll go out of bounds in the red zone just inside the 20. Another good completion on the drive as the Vikings have a 1st down.
Another nice play there. They've gotten down into the red zone in no time at all. That's what this offense can do when they get on a roll. And now they're set up with a 1st and 10.
Now they show jet sweep, but instead a run up the middle here.
And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain.
76 yards rushing for him now in the ball game.
That's a really nice job by them picking up the run blitz and detecting it and blocking it and turning it into a nice run. And a lot of times you think if you blitz a running play, you're going to smother it. But a lot of the...
Under pressure, down he goes. Sacked at the 10.
Multiple players combined for their team's 1st sack of the game.
Now, you've been around me a long time now. You know on 2nd and inches, I love it when teams are aggressive and take a shot. But we just saw the downside to being that aggressive, didn't we?
Now you've given up on a pretty likely 1st down if they had run the football, and they need to come up with something here on 3rd.
Complete. Jefferson the target.
And he will score. Touchdown, Vikings.
Justin Jefferson
from 10 yards out. And the Vikings have taken the lead. Point after, right down the middle. And that makes the score 14-7. Minnesota's kick team ready, and the Vikings boom it away.
And makes it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line.
Jaguars come to the line to start their next drive.
So now, Charles, this drive may be a touch more important, trying to erase the memory of that interception they had the last time out.
Yeah, and everyone goes through this because even the best of the game, you're going to have games where it just doesn't go right for you, and interceptions result. So, frankly, to me, it's all about how you respond, not just the types of plays that you call, but how you carry yourself, how you show your team that you're still with it, and how you continue to lead.
Second quarter now from Jacksonville, and it's the Jags with the football, as they've got it with a 1st and 10.
Red on red. Hey, kill.
Now Lawrence to throw.
Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30.
26 big yards on that one. It's another 1st down.
And that was good protection there. No, that was great protection there because it allowed him to lock in on his receiver, although I think he was looking for his tight end on the corner route all the way. Nice connection there for a really nice gain.
And he whips that one incomplete there.
And not a common sight, at least on this drive. A momentary setback, though, for this passing game that has been moving well this series. Good thing for them, though. Still 2 more downs to connect and try and pick up another 1st down.
Here's 2nd and 10.
Red, 23. 30 left.
Up the middle they go. Bruce, and he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage.
2 yards the loss, and now 3rd and 12.
With his size, he's a tough man to bring down, but they do a nice job there stopping his progress and not allowing him to get back to the line of scrimmage.
Lawrence will throw. Pressure applied, and he's going to be taken down. They sack him back at the 33-yard line. Now a field goal try coming up here for the Jags. From the right hash and call it an even 50 yards. And this will split the uprights. It's right down the middle, and they'll cut the lead back down to 4 now at 14-10. So they're able to end that drive with 3 points in this one-possession ball game.
And ideally, you want to end every drive with points. Most quarterbacks would tell you, let's end it with a kick, right? A PAT, that's number 1. Field goal you'll take. Punts, you really don't want to do that. In this case, they'll take the field goal and get prepared for the rest of the game.
Here are the Vikings now to start their next drive. So for this offense, Charles, remember, drive 1 made it to the end zone. Drive 2.
No, bottled up. Fumble. It's out. It's loose.
Much like a running back going through the line, quarterbacks have to be aware of protecting the football as well. He left it exposed that time, wound up having it knocked free, but fortunately, had an alert teammate who was able to get it.
The fumble on first down. Now here's second down. Throwing is McCarthy. Going underneath, he's got Hockenson. He'll be hit down at the 33, 5 yards on the play.
Let's not quibble about the game there on second down. That was a positive play because that was a take-what-you-can-get situation. Got out to the tight end. Now it gives him a much better opportunity to convert on third down.
McCarthy, he'll set to throw it. And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. Nothing open downfield. He keeps it himself for 11 and a first down.
Well, here's your first example of how this guy can beat you in more ways than one, because they took away his arm, but he was more than happy to dissect them with his legs for that first down pickup.
They'll run with Allen. And he's going to take this across midfield into Jacksonville territory. 84 yards rushing for him as he has been tough to stop here in this first half. And that looked like some pretty easy yardage there right up the gut.
And he's a guy that has some height to him. So when you don't have to drop a shoulder or create or get through contact or trash, makes it a lot easier to stay upright, see the field, and make a run as we just saw there.
And he's got this down a yard or two shy of the 40 before he's out of bounds. First target, first catch, and a first down.
And the tight end is certainly a position built to move the chains because they can control space underneath. If they've got good hands, then, of course, they're a dynamic target. But one other thing is they're right in the sight lines of a quarterback on just about every play. And that makes it easier for the quarterback to pick him out and deliver.
2 yards the loss, second and 12.
Sometimes you just sit back and marvel at what he can do defensively. Speed, strength, quickness, he's the whole package. And that package just wrapped up the runner for a loss.
So the first down run lost a couple. Now they come up second and 12. Addison will go in motion left. To the air with McCarthy. Toward the center of the field, but it's incomplete. But prior to that, he had hit his first 6 passes to start the game, so on a nice little run to begin.
It feels like this offense has carried its dress rehearsal into the game. You know, because you do practice it, you do go through it, and in this case, it is clicking exactly like they drew it up.
Third down from the gun, McCarthy. Jaguar pressure and a Jaguar sack. Dropped for a loss of 7 by multiple defenders. The Vikings send out their punter as he's on to punt for the first time this afternoon. And all deep in his own territory, he coughs up the football. And the Vikings pick up the football. Was hoping to make a play there on the return with his speed. Instead, he makes a play for the other side.
Yeah, and how many times have we heard coaches say, you know, sometimes it's not really about those X's and O's we draw up. It's about those Jimmies and Joes. And when you have a punt returner, he's one of those Jimmies and Joes, one of the best athletes. He's unable to make the play that they were seeking, though.
They give him 4 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 6.
But that kind of run on first down, that's a winning type of a run. That just sets things up for them moving forward as they begin the drive.
Two minutes remaining in this first half of football. Second and 6 from the 10. Here's McCarthy. Allen here on the screen. Powers past him at the 5. And the Vikings are going to have a 1st and goal coming up as the tackle made at the 3-yard line.
And sometimes when you run a screen pass down in the red zone, it's really tough to create a lot of room to operate. The field's pretty condensed. But that was really well designed there, and they're able to pick up a 1st down.
Allen. He is going nowhere in a hurry as he is going to lose yardage here in a big way. The Jaguars going to go ahead and use their first timeout as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming 2nd down play. They keep it on the ground. Allen again. And he'll get this one back to the 5-yard line, but no further than that. Now the Jags will use the 2nd of their timeouts as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. Big play coming here. It's 3rd and goal. Looking to throw McCarthy. In trouble, and he'll go down back at the 12. The Jaguars now will use the last of their timeouts as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. And his kick is good. And that moves him up by a touchdown now at 17-10. So a nice kick there as they add 3 to the lead.
And from what I've seen so far, Brandon, I think they've been the better of the two teams here in the first half. So even though you want the touchdown, I think that's a nice job there to put 3 points on the board.
And he'll get it up past the 20 to about the 22. The Jacksonville offense set to begin their next drive. Charles, we'll see what they can do here. Not a ton of time left, but enough certainly to get points out of this drive, and they need them right now because they're trailing.
Yeah, this is exactly why you practice a 2-minute drill all through camp and at least one practice each week before a game. A minute left, more than enough time to string a few completions together, reach the end zone, and then make that walk back to the locker room just a little more animated.
To this point, I've been impressed with the work defensively. They have not allowed a lot of receivers to run free. And there's another example, another incompletion.
So the incomplete pass on the last play, and that leads us to a 3rd and 3. In motion, the tight end. Here's Lawrence. Now they set up the screen. That's complete. And I don't think he got there. No. He's short by maybe a foot, maybe. Call it 4th and inches.
Good reactions there defensively. That screen was a little slow in developing, and they shut that one down with little gain.
And in their own territory, needing only a few inches, they're going to line up to go for this thing on 4th down. And they'll try and throw for it with Lawrence. He's got his target. That's complete. And he will have a 1st down here before he gets banged down to the turf pretty hard. It's a gain of a couple on what should be the final carry of half number 1. Throwing left side, it's complete. He'll take this to the other side of midfield before going out of bounds. That's it for the first half. 2 more quarters to go. We'll have plenty more to see after the break. Welcome back. Charles and I settled into the booth, ready for quarter number 3. One touchdown is the difference. 17-10 our score, and we are back underway on EA Sports. And he'll return this one all the way onto the other side of the field.
Well, this has been a close game throughout, but that return can help them gain the separation that they've been seeking throughout the game.
On play action, McCarthy. Rush coming, and he's taken down. Taken down for the 5th time this game. Multiple defenders there to get him. This defense coming out after the half, and if that plays any indicator, Charles, maybe a little refreshed and refocused here for quarters 3 and 4.
Yeah, they did really well on that one. That's exactly what they need to keep doing if they want to change their fortunes in this game.
Jefferson going to go in motion right. From the shotgun, McCarthy. Out route to Jefferson, and he's got it. And he's going to be out of bounds, but not before he takes it inside the 40. They get 16 out of that one, but they'll still need to convert on 3rd.
That's a good bounce back play right there after taking a sack on 1st down. Didn't quite get it to the marker, but now they're in a much better spot for a 3rd and short yardage call. Through the offensive coordinator, you like looking at that section a heck of a lot better than trying to figure out 3rd and long.
And he will have a Vikings 1st down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
Boy, where would these guys be without his performance on the ground? That puts him over 100 yards now for the afternoon, and I tell you, he seems to be getting stronger as the day goes along.
They stay on the ground with Allen. 3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down.
They went right back to him, but he pretty much had nowhere to go on that play.
Well, the previous carry looked pretty good. That one, maybe he was a little tired. I don't know.
Yeah, maybe he should have tapped out and had a second back come in and maybe make that run. Who knows?
Here's 2nd and 7. Operating from the gun. McCarthy. Throwing middle, but it's incomplete. To give you an idea of how accurate he's been throwing the football, we're in the 2nd half. That's just his 2nd incompletion.
Well, if he's not locked in, that means everyone's locked in, because to me it's like throwing a no-hitter in baseball. The pitcher may get the credit, but a lot of people making plays behind him in the field.
From the gun on 3rd down. McCarthy. He'll be hit and taken down at the 21. And now that brings up 4th down there, a loss of 6 yards on the sack. And this one is right through. And they double them up here. That makes our score 20-10.
Well, they picked up right where they left off in the first half. First drive after the break, they come away with 3 and increase that lead.
Yeah, and you just want to keep building on that lead, don't you? Whether it's 6 points or 3 points, take everything you can get, keep maneuvering, keep adding to it, keep making it difficult for them to come back.
Fighting through at the 25.
And they will wrangle them down a couple yards shy of the 30.
Jaguars come to the line to start their next drive.
And their deficit a little wider now than it was at halftime following the field goal a moment ago.
But the goal is still the same because you know they want to come out, establish a rhythm in the second half, and get going. Make no mistake about it, though. Kicking field goals, not in their game plan. They need to get involved in the end zone. And this is what they're going to need more of. It's the third quarter. You're trailing. You've got to come out with a renewed sense of purpose, and that's a nice way to kick off the drive with good yardage and a first down.
And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play. It'll be second down.
He can rack up those tackles in bunches in the run game from that middle linebacker spot.
And what he has to do is make sure he congratulates the guys in front and tells them thanks a lot, because as the guy in the middle, the Mike linebacker, you're counting on your front 3, your front 4, your front 5, whatever you've got in front of you to take up all the blocking, allow you to roam and hit. And that's what he did on that play. You get the sense that they're saying we're not playing up to what we're capable of, and we're deep enough into the game that the early jitters are long gone, that they should now have some sense of continuity and be able to make some of these plays that they have not been doing so far.
From the shotgun, Lawrence. He had a man open, but he missed him, and it's incomplete.
And those two just have been in sync thus far. They've done a nice job against him, but still, with his talent, you would expect them to have more completions to him in this game.
And a fair catch called for and made just inside the 35-yard line. Not good at all. Punt of just 24 yards there. And the Vikings will take over here, 1st and 10. The Minnesota offense about ready to get this next drive underway. And they're not going to play this conservative, I don't think. They had a field goal last time, and they're up, but they're looking to put a drive in the end zone.
Oh, I agree with you totally. No one goes out on the field and says, all right, let's just settle for 3, except in certain situations, trying to ice a game, that sort of deal. Most of the time, it's end zone, and that's what you're thinking, and I believe that's exactly what they're thinking as they begin this one.
Yeah, no quarterback ever goes out there saying, hey, let's get 3, right?
Not one that I've ever met.
Now Allen shoves him away, and they'll get him down as he's inside the 40.
117 yards for him on the ground now, as he has been terrific here this afternoon.
So in Jacksonville territory now. Here's a 1st and 10 at the 39-yard line. Looking to throw.
McCarthy. And this nearly an interception, but it's incomplete. Well, a turnover really would have helped him there, but not to be.
I certainly like the idea. You're down on their side of the field. Get your big play guy involved. That time, they pick one up for him to see if he can pull it down in the end zone, but the coverage was good, and it winds up incomplete.
And he'll get 4 here down to the 35-yard line.
That second down play call was not to pick up the first down. It was to accomplish what they did to get them into a manageable 3rd down, because they had incompletion on 1st down, so they were behind the sticks, so to speak. They needed to make up some ground, and they did.
Out of the gun now on 3rd down. And he's got the first as they'll bring him down at the 28-yard line. Give him 7 on the tuck and run, and it'll get him a new set of downs.
No surprise to see his sideline fired up by that big play. Heck, we're fired up, and we're supposed to be neutral. That's a quarterback putting his body on the line to fight and just barely get the first down. When he does something like that, it gets everyone ready to lay it all out there and try and match his intensity.
On first down, Allen. A solid stiff arm.
So they accept the penalty, of course, and push the offense backwards a bit.
Now a handoff up the middle. It's Allen. And a short gain down to about the 33.
What an advantage having a elite guy in the middle of the defensive line, because not only does he take up the space and let the linebackers run free, but he can also make plays himself, as we just saw there.
Now they'll switch it up here and look to throw. Over the middle, complete. It's Martin. Short completion, just 4 yards. And that's going to lead to a 3rd and 11.
And I think he just wanted to get the ball to one of his playmakers to see if they can make something happen, but he ends up throwing into a crowded area. And after the catch, he isn't able to do much with it.
A long way to go here on 3rd down for the 8th play of the drive. Back to throw. McCarthy. Escaping the pressure. And he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down.
Adafe Owe showing off the pass rush skills.
Offensively, they're going to have to figure this out before next week. 7 sacks in 1 game.
Yeah, that's more than any quarterback should have to bear. And if this continues on, there will be another quarterback in the game, because no one can stand up to this week after week.
So the field goal unit is on the field, as this is a big spot right here. This is a 49-yard attempt, right hash. And this is right down the middle as he puts it through, and that will extend their lead even further.
So that maybe not a knockout blow, but I suppose certainly every little bit helps when you're trying to salt one away in the 4th.
Well, the possibility of being beaten by 2 late touchdowns or at least sent to overtime does exist. But time, definitely a big factor at this stage of the game, is in their favor.
And a nice return sets him up pretty good here right at the 30-yard line. The Jacksonville offense set to begin their next drive. The last series for them, a little disappointing, forced to punt. And now they'll try to do better here and come away with some points as they begin this drive. 1st and 10. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. Now Lawrence to the right side and complete to Thomas. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. From Viking territory now, they'll come up 1st and 10 as they've got it to the 28-yard line. He's got Thomas yet again, complete. Call it a gain of 3 on the play, and it'll be 2nd down. Lawrence going to throw again. And that's going to be incomplete. Good effort there, trying to take a shot, but it's 3rd down.
When you're leading in the final quarter, your radar has to be up for any potential deep shots. And probably not the last one they're going to see in this game, not as long as they hold this lead.
The Jaguars on 3rd down. 0 for 3 to this point. They could use a conversion. This is 3rd and 7.
Looking to throw, Lawrence. Work in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete.
And he will get this into the end zone for a Jaguar touchdown.
Brian Thomas
with career touchdown number 75.
And the Jaguars have made it a one-score game again here in the 4th.
No problem there on the extra point. And now things get a bit more interesting here in this 4th quarter. And the Vikings able to recover. The hands team does its job. And that's why you have your hands team out there on the field. Those are the best guys ready to make that play.
And let's face it, it was executed well. It wasn't a bad kick. It wasn't anything like that. Just that the normal outcome actually came to play. Analytics will tell you it's a very low possibility of getting the ball for the team kicking it in an onside kick situation.
You're all about the numbers, aren't you?
All about the numbers, baby. It's a new game now.
They don't lie. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain.
And what a tough spot for this defense because they know it's coming, but they're just powerless to stop it. What a great run there to start the drive. And you can bet there'll be more where that came from as they try to ice this game away.
There go play action. Here's McCarthy. They'll roll him out right. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete.
I see the surprise in your face there, partner. That is a rare incompletion from him. He's been on point this entire game.
He has percentage completion-wise way up. Not that time. On third down, Allen. And nothing but green grass here, middle of the field. Touchdown, Vikings. A great effort there. With his second TD of the game, his 6th on the year. And the Vikings might be headed to the win column for the first time this season as they add on to their lead. The Vikings leave the offense on the field as they're going to line up and go for 2. McCarthy going to look to throw for it. And he is into the end zone to bump the lead up 2 more. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. And able to take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line. Jaguars come to the line to start their next drive. A long drive last time out for this offense, Charles. If you remember, they started basically in the shadows of their own end zone, marched it down the field, and a lot of that was through the passing game.
And partner, as a former defensive back, I'm having almost a physical reaction watching what's happening right now. But let's give credit where it's due because they've done an excellent job moving the ball through the air. Secondary getting picked apart pass by pass. Obviously, they need to make some adjustments there on the back end.
Yeah, because offensively, we know that they're not going to be shy about throwing that football. Throw right side, caught by Davis. And he'll be out right at the 35. Hard to believe his first catch of the game defensively. They bottled him up. That's why they're well on their way to victory.
Put your best cover guy on him and then change the coverages behind him throughout the game. Brackets, double, zone, man, you name it. Make sure he gets a lot.
Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Inside the 10. And he will take this one home. It's a touchdown. Extra point attempt here still to come. And the lead now to 3 touchdowns at 21 points. So they throw the pick 6. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. And no run back forthcoming, so this will come out to the 30. The Jacksonville offense set to begin their next drive. And that last pick 6 may have been the backbreaker as they now face a 3-score deficit in the 4th quarter. They need points quickly. Wide open receiver complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. In motion goes the tight end. Lawrence. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. Oh, and one of the linemen on the other side has got it. Now this one from about 2 counties over after the sack. They come up on a 2nd and very long. The Vikings going to signal for the first of their timeouts. That'll leave them with 2 remaining. We'll be back after this. So they keep the ball, but work to do on second and long. Here's Lawrence to throw. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. And he'll get it out to midfield. Yeah, they'll spot it right at midfield at the 50.
Great job.
11 yards on the play. Brings up 3rd and long.
From midfield now, Lawrence. Oh, that's the 3rd interception for Lawrence. Picked off by Byron Murphy. And he's going to take this one back to the 37-yard line.
They'll take over 1st and 10 at the 37-yard line.
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. Up the middle they go. It's Allen. Nothing doing. Barely able to muster a yard to hit the 35. Defensively, they know the situation. They stack the line. Heck, that was a goal line set right there.
And it's the right play for them, exactly what they have to do. They want to take away every gap, every crack, and make sure no one can get through it. But here's the deal, though. You've worked on offense all year long about these types of defensive fronts. If they can penetrate it at all, your runner has a chance to go a long way behind it.
Could be a house call. That good for 22 and a first down. They'll keep it on the ground. Allen. And he'll get about 3 just outside the 10, stopped at the 11. The Jaguars going to go ahead and use their first timeout. That'll leave them with 2 remaining. We'll be back after this. They'll come up 2nd and 7. They run the counter. It's Allen. A good display of power, but it will only get him just inside the 5 to the 4. And his defense here going to burn their 2nd timeout. But you can also factor in another timeout that they'll get when the clock stops at the 2-minute warning. The Vikings on 3rd down. They're hitting at 60%, 6 out of 10 thus far. They need just a yard here. It's 3rd and 1. They'll try and run some clock here as they keep it on the ground. He is going nowhere as he is enveloped behind the line. Calling no gain that time, and they're going to be left looking up at a 4th and 1. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the 4th quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So the Vikings in possession of the football as we get you reset. They've got a 4th down here in a game that looks to have been decided already. Now the Vikings will send out the special teams crew here for a field goal try. This will be just a 21-yard attempt. And his kick here is good. And that will extend their lead even further. Well, ultimately not really sure that they're going to need those 3 points, but they'll take the 3 and they pad that lead.
Yeah, this one's already wrapped up, but you and I both know if you're an offensive coordinator, you never let up on the gas unless the head coach tells you to do so. And maybe you've actually clicked him off in your headset so you can keep calling plays and trying to add to this lead.
And running with power here. And he won't quite make it to the 25. Jaguars come to the line to start their next drive. Well, this game, it has had no shortage of offense. They've been able to put up a decent amount of points on this side, Charles. They just have not been able to keep pace with the other offense they're going against here.
Yeah, it's a good way of pointing things out because now it's not a total loss because, as you said, they've scored some points, so there's some plays they can build on, moments where the game plan actually worked. But overall, though, they were just out-personnelled. They were going up against a team that's playing at an elite level.
Out to the flat. That's complete to his running back. And he's dropped right at the 40. Gain of 3. 2nd and 7. Another timeout called by the Vikings now, as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming 2nd down play.
on red. 11.
Now Lawrence. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Brandon Jones picking it off.
Intercepted by the Vikings. They'll take over first and 10 at the 41-yard line.
The D can only stop it one more time as they take the knee. The D can only stop it one more time as they take the knee. The D can only stop it one more time.